Welcome to Bardic Aggravation. I'm Kent. This is Brandon. That's Reek. I am wearing this eye patch because they've stressed me so much that my eyeball flew out of my head and smacked against the wall.
He's a fan of House of the Dragon.
I got my eye messed up. If you watched our Ranger video, you already know the story, but for those of you just catching it, a doctor messed up my eye. Woo, what a surprise. And so now sometimes I have to wear this because otherwise I'll scare the children. So yes, we're doing the Spellblade, the DC20 class that is not a D&D class at all.
It's not?
It's not.
So we're not comparing this to anything, except we are. Because we're going to talk about it, we're going to tell you what it does and all that exciting stuff, but we've also each made our own version of the Spellblade because it's that customizable. You can make whatever you want out of it. And Rick is going to show you a little later how you make a Paladin out of the Spellblade. A better Paladin than the 5e Paladin. You can make a Hexblade Warlock, you can make a Blade Singer, you can make a College of Swords, but anything that's half caster, half martial.
It's pretty fun. It's a fun class.
I love it.
It's a nice blending of the two. It's really full of flavors, like a great chicken soup.
A chicken soup?
Chicken soup?
Chicken
Pretty
soup.
much one flavor.
Yeah, it's only for when you...
Chicken water.
Yeah. It's more like a jambalaya where you can take a lot of... You can take a lot of...
It's a jambalaya!
But really, you can put all these different pieces together and get the best of both worlds, where you are a martial and a spellcaster.
As you'll see. As we'll demonstrate poorly. So what the Spellblade gets right away at first level
What do you get?
is, so you're getting a little of each, like we said. So you're going to get these maneuvers. You've heard us talk about maneuvers. If not, there's a video up there. And yeah, every martial class gets these different maneuvers they get to do, like a battle master in D&D 5e, but every martial gets them. Rogue, ranger, monk, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Fighter, obviously.
Yes.
So you're going to get 2 of these, plus your attack. You get 3 attack maneuvers, and you're going to get 2 maneuvers of your choice. You're also going to get mana points and spells that you get to know. You get a cantrip and a spell and mana points, so you can either fight or you can cast spells and use your magic. So as we said.
Spells. Where do we get these spells from? Can you just take any spell?
You can choose from spells from the Destruction School, the Protection School, and a school of your choice. So out of like 3 different schools.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that you get a school of your choice, because here's more customization as we keep talking about. So you want to be illusion, you can pick illusion spells. You want to be, gravity stuff, psychic stuff. What else?
Graviturgy.
Yeah, gravitology.
Gravitology. You can be a healer. Go more cleric-y type spells.
For your paladin.
Paladins. It depends on whatever you want to be. This is your flavor piece right here.
Yep. As you can see, destruction, protection, opposites, balance. Very nice.
I like it.
You can pick all destruction spells if you want to and just be a blaster wizard, or you can pick all protection spells if you want to and be a spellblade that's
Heals people.
protecty.
Helps people.
And then you got that other war. You can just split them half and half. Sometimes I want to kill people. Sometimes I want to help my friends. It depends on the mood I'm in.
It's all about the mood.
Depends on how much of an asshole my friends have been today.
I would not help either of you today.
Nope. Ever. You would never help us.
I would always, usually, sometimes.
And then, what else
And
you
then-
get?
You get a bound weapon.
You tie it to your wrist?
No, it's like it's bound to you. You can choose a weapon.
Heart and soul
Bonded.
type
I think
thing.
bonded is a better word for that.
Well, it's bounded to you. Bound. It's bound to you. You
With
can
a bond.
Bond. Yeah, you're bonding with the weapon. Bondage weapon.
The bondage weapon.
Bound makes me think of
These
Tigger.
are whips and
Chained weapons.
things that go in your butt. So what is this bound weapon?
So you get to choose a weapon of your choice, because that makes sense.
Choose a weapon of your choice.
Yes.
Don't choose a weapon not of your choice. That's not
wouldn't be-
allowed.
You bind to the weapon, so the weapon becomes...
Now we have a third. It's bonded, bind, or bond. Any of those 3 will work. You're going to bind to your bonded weapon with a bounded bond.
and once you do that, it'll allow you to do a few different things with it. You can choose to illuminate through that weapon. Yeah?
It's like the light spell. Yeah,
Oh,
you illuminate it. You can
Lightsaber.
Not really. You choose your damage type. So you can have your weapon do like fire damage, cold damage, that kind of stuff.
Well, it's between either mystic damage or elemental.
Oh, that's right. I'm incorrect there. So
But you're not just picking that broad thing. So he's right. You have to be specific. If it's elemental damage, fire. What else?
cold.
What else?
Loser.
Lightning.
Loser damage.
Lightning.
So yeah, you decide what the damage your weapon does is, and that's what it does.
Moving on. For you paladin types, you get smite through your bound weapon. And
Anybody can, not just the paladins.
well, for the people who like paladins,
Here's your smite. Yeah.
Here's your paladin flavor.
But any Spellblade gets this thing. It's called smite. But what does it do?
what does it do, Rick?
It does extra damage.
If it's a ranged weapon, it does +1 damage. If it's a martial weapon, it does +2. And it does the damage that you chose. So it does your fire damage or your umbral damage or whatever. So yeah. So it's like a magical smite. It's a magical strike.
And then for you people that like Thor and the ability to recall a weapon at your ready, if it's 20 spaces away from you and you're like, come here!
Uh-huh.
You can have that bound weapon come to you from 20 spaces away.
Does it run over on little legs?
It flies to you, right to your hand. Looks like
That's cool.
Flew into your eye. Actually, it won't ever do that. If you choose not to catch it, it'll fall at your feet.
Can you allow it to smack you in the face if, like, you're mad at yourself?
I assume you could flavor it that way if you wanted to.
So,
Interesting.
that's what you can do with your bonded weapon, your bound weapon.
The best part of
Waking up.
Your soldier's in your cap!
disciplines. Disciplines. This is where you're getting your
Discipline.
You can choose 2 disciplines from this massive list of disciplines.
By massive, you mean 7?
It's more massive than 1.
Okay.
truth.
You're going to choose 2 disciplines from a list of 7. You're going to take 2 of them so you can, again, mix and match and customize to your heart's content. There's a discipline path called the Magus. You get a little more magic ability. You get another mana point and you get an extra spell. So
Fun.
if you want to balance your...
Fun. It sounds fun. Like being just a magic user. I like it.
So helpful.
The next discipline
Yes. Tell me.
is the warrior discipline. The warrior discipline allows you to have some more maneuvers. So if you're looking more martially, you'll take the warrior.
And gives you access to heavy armor.
Yes,
Which
heavy
is
armor
amazing,
as well, too, yes. So you're a little more beefier, and you can do more...
More beefier.
More beefier. I like it.
Yes, like ravioli, more beefier.
Again, you get 2 of them, so if you just want to keep balancing your Spellblade magic and might, take both of them. There you go. No more decisions.
Balance even.
So I want to be, but if you want to lean more toward one or the other, then take one of these 2 and then pick one of these other ones like the Acolyte. The Acolyte is more of your cleric-y, paladin type, because you're healing and you're curing.
The next one, which everybody probably will be really excited for, is the Hex Warrior.
Ooh. What?
So this is where you get your ability to hex certain enemies and whatnot. There's 3 different types of hexes you can put in to an enemy. One's called Umbral Rot, which is basically giving them necrotic flesh. So they lose
Like a disease.
yeah.
Okay.
They lose
Like a brown recluse spider?
yeah, like that. They lose like a hit point every round. It's kind of cool.
Kind of cool, like everything else. Everything
Again,
else is kind of cool.
Level 2. Everything's kind of cool here.
This is level 1, not level 2.
This is level 1 kind of
It's
cool.
only level 1.
This is only level 1. Oh my god.
It feels like level 10 because this is taking so fucking long.
My God. So the second kind of hex you can do is it's called Black Blood, which basically turn their blood black, so they can't regain hit points. So if you're really trying to get rid of somebody, this will be a way to do it. The last hex you can impart on somebody
Tell me
is
about this last
something
hex.
called Sickening Fever. And that gives you basically a really bad fever.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
And that'll impart the dazed or impaired condition. So that can really set a 1-2 up with other people in your party. So that's the Hexblade. It's kind of cool.
Warrior.
I'm sorry, Hex Warrior. Hexblade's 5e. We don't talk about that. The next discipline we'll get into.
Tell me, please.
The Spell Warder.
Ooh, what does that do?
I don't remember.
So the damage that you do on your turn with your weapon or your spell, it's elemental or mystical damage. You are now not immune.
Resistant.
You are resistant to this damage until the start of your next turn. But the best one for me is the Spell Breaker.
What
Now,
is that?
So DC20 has spell duels. You've heard about that in the wizard video, where you can, if somebody's casting a spell, you can cast your own spell and you guys can duel, and whoever wins, wins, obviously. This, you can do the same thing, but with your weapon. So if somebody's casting a spell, you can use your weapon, your sword, your axe, your bow even, you can shoot an arrow and disrupt their spell, and it fizzles out and they're done. That's fun.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool visually to just, you're breaking a spell with a weapon. So many things you can do with that.
Oh my god, like a human fighter with no spell ability except for this.
Right.
Just comes in and goes, you, I don't need god magic. Comes in and just takes it down.
It's got a very foul mouth, that fighter.
That fighter's mean.
Maybe it's just a war, like it's more.
My mom watches this channel, you know.
And then the last one we'll talk about is the Blink Blade discipline, which is really cool. It's very tactical, I would say. You're in combat, and you can basically teleport one space around your enemy as you after you attack. So you make an attack, and immediately after you make an attack, you can go boop, and it really confuses your enemy. It's kind of like Nightcrawler, where just boom, 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 can kind of teleport real quick, but only within one space of your enemy. Boom! Disciplines.
Somebody's very proud of himself. And we're not done with level 1.
Oh, we are.
But wait, there's more?
Yeah, what is it? This one's after that's not going to be as exciting, but it's still cool. What is it?
Sense magic.
Ah! What's that?
20 spaces around you, you can sense the type and location of magical beings, magical things. It's sort of like the Paladin's ability to know divine sense. That's what it was called, divine sense.
It's like that, yeah. So it's just
very
adds
much
to
like
your
divine
paladin
sense.
thing.
Well, you can know more than just a regular Paladin does, don't you?
You know its location and you know its type of any creature within that you can't see within 20 feet of you. So if it's invisible, if it's behind some cover, you'll know where it is and you'll know what it is. There's a Godzilla monster behind that basket.
So that's level 1.
That's level 1 done. Done. We're done with level 1.
That's a lot. I mean,
Good for you, level 1.
You don't need anything else, really. Your character's done.
I feel like you should just stop.
Yeah.
But, you know, because there's level 2. What's the first thing you get at second level, Brandon?
Spell Strike.
Oh, okay. Calm down.
You know what that means? You know what that means, Ken?
I can hazard a guess.
That means you can take magic and cast a spell through your weapon. And not only does it do the weapon damage, it does the spell damage type through the weapon. So you can cast like Firebolt through your own weapon. Really sweet. Through your weapon. You're not just like casting it. You do the weapon damage and the spell damage at once.
So you're getting a twofer. You're basically allowed to cast a spell and to do a melee attack on the same action,
turn.
the same turn.
But you can
That's
only
what that
do
means, isn't it?
Yes.
You can cast a spell on somebody and hit them with your weapon at the same time.
Fucking
That's
sweet.
crazy.
It's pretty cool.
That's crazy. They get their saving throws against this stuff. You still have to hit them. You could hit them with your weapon and then make the save against your spell, and then you're just doing the weapon damage, or vice versa. But if all goes well and the dice aren't dicks, you're going to nail him with your weapon. You're going to nail him with the spell. Any of the spell's effects. You can put a maneuver into this. You can put a spell enhancement into this. You can really go crazy.
I think I put advantage on it.
You can put advantage
Just so
on
I
it.
would
Just
do
so
it.
you make
Just
sure
to make sure I
you
hit that, because I want that to hit. It's gonna
Yeah,
hit.
you don't want to waste that.
No, it's gonna hit every
Good
time.
idea.
I'm not wasting it.
But back up the truck.
Okay.
You can only do this once per long rest. But
I was going to say, it's not as bad as it sounds. Hang on.
if you roll a new initiative, so if you have multiple combats, you would gain it on a new initiative roll. So it's a little weird.
This is DC20. I mean, yeah, it's worded this way, but most of the things in DC20 that say you get it once per long rest, in D&D, they mean it. You get it once per long rest, and there is no wiggle room. In DC20, everything resets once you roll initiative. So it should literally say once per combat
Yes.
is when you can do this. Because if you have 6 combats
Yeah.
between each long rest, you can do this 6 times. Every time you roll initiative, this resets.
Would there ever be a reason that you would roll initiative twice in one combat?
If you're an idiot.
So what else do we get at level 2? Anything else?
You actually do.
The ability, it's called might and magic. It's the ability to
And magic.
Did I not say
Not
that?
whatever you mumbled out.
Might and magic. See, I
Go,
don't
there
see
you
it there.
go. It's not much effort.
You can change out, or you can utilize stamina points as action points, as well as mana points for stamina points. So it's the ability to go back and forth a little bit. Yeah.
Swapping your
Basically,
stuff
it's the fact. It's just playing up the fact that you are physical and magical, and you can do so. If you want to, you can use a magic point instead of a physical point, and a physical point instead of a magic point. We can explain all the details, but it won't matter right now. Just know that you can.
Swap.
I want to use magic with a physical point, and I want to hit somebody with a magic point. Blah blah blah.
And you get a talent.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's it. And you get a talent. That's it.
Just like every
You don't want to tell them
other
what a talent is in case
other
the first
class.
time.
Talent's awesome. You can add to your ability, one ability, or you can just pick a
Unability.
an ability.
You lose one of your abilities. You get an ability.
Ability.
A talent is like a feat. That's what a talent is. He calls it a talent here. So every single class gets a talent, a feat at 2nd level. And there's plenty of ways to do that. That's a different video we'll get into at another time. All right, now that you know what a Spellblade is, we're going to show you what you can make out of the Spellblade because we each made our own different version of it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Rick, you want to go first or do you want to go first?
Mine, I made it based on the Paladin from 5e. Kind of tried to go down that vein with this guy. His name is Justin. He's got a pretty good backstory. You want to talk about it?
No.
I took the Bastard Sword so I can use it one-handed, and then I can it's a versatile weapon so I can use it two-handed as well.
What damage did you choose for your bound weapon?
I went with impact. I like the impact to where I do what does impact do?
That's a condition. That's what it does. He's asking what kind of damage it does.
What do you mean what kind of damage it does? It does sword damage.
Obviously, it does brain damage.
Frost damage, fire damage,
Radiance. Obviously, radiance.
There
I mean,
we go.
we even have to talk about this?
Perhaps you want to tell the people that are watching this for the information section of this
People are
video.
watching this. Paladins do radiant damage, so we don't even got to discuss that. Paladins are going to do radiant damage. My damage is going to be radiant.
Sometimes somebody might want to be original and not do radiant damage.
Then you're not a paladin. You can just go leave. Disciplines. What are our disciplines? Is that those little things we get?
You get 2. Which 2 did you pick?
I took warrior, which is pretty dope. It gives me access to heavy armor,
Right.
and it also gives me 2 extra maneuvers. And I can use a heavy shield. So I have heavy shield, heavy armor mastery, and 2 extra maneuvers. The second one I took, because you could take 2
You do.
of these disciplines,
Right.
which is the best part. I took acolyte.
Sure.
So within 5 spaces of you, it's like the laying on hands thing. You can just heal people around you for points of health. And it spreads out between everybody around you within 5 spaces. And also you can cure diseases and things of that nature. I get 2 maneuvers just for being a Spellblade. So I took parry. Pretty cool. If anybody's within 1 space of me, I can up their physical defense. So I can help them out. So I'm going to give a little parry action. I can help somebody else, including myself. I'm going to add 5 to my defense right off the rip. So it's an action point, but I'm going to add 5 to my defense, or I can do it to someone else around me, as long as they're within 1 space. So Kent I could not get. Brandon I actually could get, because he's right here next to me. Just where I want him. And then protect. So protect, I split the damage with the person next to me. Instead of letting Brandon take all the damage, I'm going to be like, ho, ho, what? And I'm going to jump in front of him and take that bullet.
And then obviously after the fact go, I took a bullet for you.
Yep.
Oh, I'm never going to let you forget it.
You owe me your
You
life.
owe me a beer every time we're out, my friend.
Exactly.
And I'm going to talk like that the whole game. But that's not all.
Sure.
Okay.
Because I took a discipline, which gave me 2 extra maneuvers. That warrior discipline. So now I actually took taunt because I want people to attack me. So when I use taunt, the person I'm taunting gets disadvantage unless they're fighting me. So it'll help all my friends, and they have to be within 5 spaces of me, pretty close to me, but not that close. So I can actually, if someone's really taking down my friend here, I can really point at him and say, you need to fight me, and then it'll help you out.
Well,
and I'll have
because
to
you're
take more
taunting.
damage. I'm
Like,
taunting.
what would you say if they were attacking Brandon and
I
you
would
wanted
say,
them to attack you?
Brandon's a kind of weak. You should come and fight me if you're the toughest person in the room.
I'd say that's taunt-ish.
Tauntish.
It's not a real... It wouldn't get me to...
If you were strong enough, you'd fight Justin the Paladin.
Okay, that's good. That's a taunt.
Those are all defensive maneuvers. I decided my last maneuver, I would go with something a little bit offensive. Because I need to have... Did you say boring?
Stinky pits.
That
A
was
little offensive. Garlic breath.
Not offensive. Not offensive, but offensive. Is that the same word
yes,
still?
it still is the same.
Just the
word.
way you say it. I'm going to go with knockback. So if I'm fighting somebody, I can actually give them a nice whack-ow and kick them up to 5 spaces away from me.
You're not kicking anybody in heavy armor. That only happens in Monty Python.
But I'm super strong. I have might. I'm going to put all my focus into my strength. I'm
Does it
gonna
have
be
to-
like
does it-
the ultimate warrior.
Probably with your bastard sword, right?
On my shield.
With
Bash him.
your shield, yeah.
My shield. So those are my maneuvers. And then we have actually 2 spells. Isn't that amazing?
You don't have 2 spells.
I do. I have 1 cantrip and 1 spell.
There you go.
I consider a cantrip a spell, even though it is a cantrip. So you get destruction and protection for free, right? All of us. So all of
we went
us.
over that. You get
Whatever we built.
destruction, so
I picked divination as my 3rd, which gives me access. You'd think it was wizard divination, but it actually gives me access to bless and those type of things.
no healing.
Well, I already have healing in my acolyte, so I can already heal people around me. So I actually went with the spells. Guidance is my cantrip, so I can give you a help action almost every time. Guidance, a little guidance there. Gives you a plus 1d8, which during the game we played with that, and that really helped out a lot. That's what guidance does. And then I actually took bless. So bless will bless up to 3 creatures of my choice within my range. And whenever a target makes a check on the spell, they get a d4 additional. I basically tried to make my Spellblade into a Paladin. He's got the lay on hands, which is at a range feature. It's pretty cool. I have all these maneuvers that'll help my friends out, and then some that will help keep the people at bay and keep them away with my knockback actions. And then I have the spells that'll give everybody else a little boost. So I'm kind of going with everything. I want to be really round and help everybody out and still beat the shit out of people like a Paladin does. So that is my Paladin. What do you think?
I think it did okay.
It's a paladin. What's
Kind of cool.
Who cares?
I'm just showing. That
I don't like the paladin
You
at
don't
all,
like the
but I'm
paladin?
impressed that you just made a paladin. It's
you
a
can
paladin.
just straight up make a Paladin with this class.
Right, and you already have your smites already built in.
Smites are there. I can even recall my weapon, which Paladins can't do. There's a bunch of extra
Right.
things. I can
Recall your
change my
weapon.
points
That
around.
spell strike. You
The
can't
spell
do
strike
with
sounds
it. That's awesome.
fun, man. Like
I'm
just
I built my Spellblade with spell strike in mind.
I don't think he was done talking.
no. Go ahead, dude. Talk over me. Just do what you want, man. I mean,
I thought you were done. You
just
finished.
whatever you want, dude. I don't care.
See what you've done? Yeah, what did you do? A hexblade?
I tried to make a hexblade through my spellblade, so that's pretty cool.
Did you succeed?
Well, we'll let them decide, right?
Sure.
So
I'll decide.
So
Put in the comments. Did he succeed?
I probably didn't, but
There you
we'll see
go.
we'll see what we can do.
Mr. Self-esteem.
Close.
Like I said earlier, I try to go the.
All I do is try to build you up and say positive things to you.
That's not you. Don't be not you.
I know. Doesn't work.
It's off-putting when you're like, you're doing such a great job. Anyways, I try to go the opposite of a paladin and make a dark kind of character is what I went. His name is Dirks.
Dirks?
Dirks, yeah.
How do you spell that?
Dirks.
Okay.
My bound weapon, I chose my scimitar. Okay?
Excellent.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do. My bound weapon damage is gonna be umbral.
Okay.
It's gonna be dark.
Which is necrotic, if you know.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Umbral's cooler.
So that's what I chose for my bound weapon and bound
it.
weapon
I like
damage. The 2 disciplines, like they talked about, you get 2 of them, right?
Yes.
2, not 4. 2.
Not 4, 2.
I'd like to have
2
4,
disciplines.
but
Maybe as you level up, you probably get more.
you might
but
get access
right now,
to
you-
something. Yeah. Who knows?
2 and that's enough for you,
Okay.
greedy f***.
I just want more. I want them all. But like you, I also took the warrior discipline because I wanted the heavy armor. I want to be hard to hit.
And the extra.
And the extra maneuvers, obviously, because I want to do some things that are a little evilly. And then I also took the hex discipline, so I can hex people.
Is it called Hex? What's it called? Hex Warrior?
Yeah, the hex warrior. Sorry,
Oh.
I misspoke. I took the hex warrior
You
discipline.
spoke, but you didn't say it all. That was good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I did shorten it.
Hex warrior discipline.
And that allows you to hex or curse somebody, much like the Hexblade. It was a warlock.
Got it.
Yeah, but their hex sucks. This one's cool.
This one's a lot cooler. You can do a few different things with it.
What can it do, Brandon?
You can hex them like, I hate your blood. I hate your blood.
And your ass face.
You can give them black blood. So when you you hex somebody with and give them black blood, they're not allowed to regain hit points.
Not allowed.
Another hex is you can give somebody a fever called sickening fever. You can make them feel
Good.
dazed, or
Dazed. Okay.
impaired. My favorite and what I would do most with my Spellblade would be the Umber Rot. The Umber Rot. Basically, I'm going to make your skin rot off your body.
It's nice.
So it's going to blacken and ooze and pus right off your body. And what that'll do is you lose HP every round. The next thing we'll discuss is the maneuvers that I took. So, like I said, you get 2. I got 2 extra for being...
I'm gonna assume you didn't take protection ones like I did.
I did not. You're correct. I took a few different things. I took the bleed maneuver.
I was gonna say that.
So you can
too.
impart the
I
bleeding
knew it.
condition,
I liked it.
which is awesome because I want to kill you. I took the impair maneuver, which can impart the impaired condition. So I would impair them, which would give them disadvantage on physical checks.
That's nice of you.
So yeah, so you suck at making physical checks. I also like your guy, but for different reasons.
You like his guy?
For
Also-
different reasons.
Like your guy,
You
not
said
I
I
like
like your guy.
Oh, there's a
for different
comma.
reasons.
There's a comma.
also, comma, like your guy, comma, I took taunt, but for different reasons. I don't want to taunt to protect. I want to taunt because I want you. Like Apollo Creed, I want you! I want you! That's me. I'm Apollo Creed. I want them to come fight me.
Because why?
Because I'm better than you, and I know it. I also took the sidestep maneuver, so I want to go...
I like that maneuver.
and
That's
kind of be a little dodgy on that one.
yeah.
So a little bit trickery there.
How does that one work? Well, okay. If somebody's attacking you, you can move one space in any direction you want to, and then they're gonna what? They have disadvantage. They miss you.
That imparts disadvantage on the attacker.
Next attack against you.
That's
Yeah.
attack against me. So I kind of want to be a little dodgy in that aspect.
What are you spells? What spells?
So
Spells?
the spells. So the cantrip and spells. Obviously, you get 2 split. Like you said earlier, my cantrip that I took was shocking grasp. Because I'm shocking, and I have a grasp on you. So I'll impart lightning. Yeah. The spell I took is actually cool. I took a buff spell or a debuff spell.
Okay.
I took Bane.
All right.
So that imparts there's a spider there. That imparts
I bane you.
a negative condition to your roll. So I
heal
think is it a D4? Is it the same as 5e?
I don't know what you spell. Do your homework.
Find your spell.
Anyways, it's a negative to your roll.
It's a negative experience for the victim.
Bane's obviously it's not in the destruction or the protection or whatever.
What was?
It's an enchantment spell.
So you picked enchantment.
I
as
picked
your...
enchantment as my third school. Anyways, enough about jerks.
Well, is Jerks a human?
Yeah.
What was Justin?
He's totally human. He's like really. I mean, over the
They're
top.
so creative, aren't they? My goodness. I actually made a Spellblade that I'm playing in our campaign. It's not a campaign yet. We're doing a dungeon crawl playtest. We just finished the Hunted, the one-shot for DC20. And now we're moving on to, so we're actually got up to level 2. Oh, very exciting. But I'm going to stick to the first level Spellblade. So his name is Mungo. He originally started as a College of Swords bard in D&D, which I really like. So I wanted to see if I could get that same feeling here in DC20. I could do it with the bard by doing some multi-class stuff, kind of, but I don't want to be a performance. I mean, I don't want him to be like your typical, stereotypical bard. He doesn't even consider himself a bard. He is like performer.
because his weapon, he has meteor hammers, right? So it's chain with the spiked ball on the end or the razor ball on the end, and
Like
does
Phantasm.
that. So he's a dual wielder because it's 2 balls of one chain, so he's hitting, But he was a performer with this stuff. You light him on fire, you're like a fire dancer, and he was in this traveling troupe, and he performed these maneuvers with it was like performance, like a karate when you do a exhibition.
Demo.
Right, a demo. So that's what
demo.
he did for entertainment. And
I can see Mungo working at a Ren Fest. Like,
Yeah.
just flipping those things around. Everybody's like, oh, look at the fire guy with the fire and the bows and the flying around.
yeah, because he's an elf and he can do elfy stuff too. So it's all this magical thingies.
How original he's an elf.
He's not a stupid Lord of the Rings elf. He's a real elf, like from the Fey Forest, not a homogenized fucking Hugo Weaving. Who cast Hugo Weaving as an elf? Seriously, you don't even need to put makeup on him to play an orc, and he's an elf. For God's sake,
Mr. Anderson.
I like him. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, he's a great actor.
He's a great actor, but anyway, so I'm not that kind of elf. So meteor hammers for the bound weapon, and I gotta say, I am one of the things I'm most. It's funny how what gets you excited with little things, because the fact that there's meteor hammers in DC20 is enough for me to say, fuck D&D, I'm playing this game because they have meteor hammers. So it's just so fun.
Why are you so in love with meteor hammers?
Just I don't know. It's one of those things you just don't know why.
The Kill Bill blew your mind. That girl in Kill Bill.
That
was
is
like,
one of the
she
best
was
fight scenes of all
freaking
time.
amazing. She would like be rolling it over her body. It was beautiful.
It was great.
was
I
amazing.
watched that scene. I wish it was longer. I wish he would have won. So that's the bound weapon
Talk to
for
him.
Mongo, and he uses sonic damage, which would be akin to like thunder. So that when he hits somebody with this thing, poof, it does this sonic damage, and it hurts your ear and your feelings. For his disciplines, because he's very disciplined, he's an acrobat. He's an athlete. So
It's a juggler.
I took the Magus discipline. I was tempted to take the warrior one, but they did. But I took the Magus one because I want some extra spell. He is, an entertainer and an elf, so I wanted him to be a bit more magic-y. So he gets that extra spell and those extra mana points. It's
Oh,
just
that's what
one.
it gives you?
Your mana point maximum increases by 1, and you get an extra spell. So I have 2 spells and a cantrip, as opposed to they have 1 spell and 1 cantrip.
And 4 mana points, right?
And
An extra mana point, yeah.
I have 4 mana points, yes. So the other discipline I took was the Spellbreaker, because that's also beyond cool to me. So I can use my Meteor Hammer, or any weapon, that you bound weapon, and I can spell duel. If somebody casts a spell, I can just snake out the weapon, and it goes, and it can stop the spell if the dice are in my corner. And then, because I didn't take the Path of the Warrior, I have the 2 maneuvers that you get. I have all 3 attack maneuvers, because every Spellblade does. And you get 2 extra maneuvers of your choice. So the ones I chose are Trip, so that you can knock somebody
That
prone.
makes sense with the meteor hammer.
Yeah, you
Grab
just
their
hook
legs
ankle
and
and
give 'em a whoop.
yank them off their feet. That would be
Slippity-doo.
fun. So now they're prone and everybody gets advantage
Skippity.
while they just, pile on, unfair fight. It's great. The other one I took is Body Block, because that's also fun. So, yeah, if Rick had already gone over this, but if somebody is next to you, enemy, you don't want to do it with a friend. You can do it with a friend. You would. He would do it. But you just pull them right in front of you while somebody's attacking you, and you're using them as a human shield. So that's fun. And then for spells, for my cantrip, I just took Firebolt. Because right now in the, we should have made this clear before, but in the beta that we're playing off of, there's not the full spell list yet at all. He put these spells in there as placeholders so that you could play the game and use the magic system. They're spells that are kind of familiar, but they're just placeholders. The total spell list is coming out. It should be before the end of the year, maybe at the beginning of the year. So right now, I just took Firebolt. It's your basic cantrip. And yeah, Mungo would use fire because, like I said, he lights his things on fire sometimes. So Firebolt's a cantrip. And then I took Silent Image because I thought I couldn't decide between Misty Step, Silent Image, but that's 2 different schools. So I can't have both of them because it's either destruction or protection. So I decided to go with the...
I thought you get destruction protection in the third.
And a third. So the third it would either be Misty Step is Astromancy and Silent Image is Illusion.
So one or the other.
So I had to pick one or the
So
other.
if you go with illusion, then that's the path you're going.
Exactly. So I did that. I went with illusion. And so yeah, silent image is the other spell that I took for that. And then my second spell is catapult, which is destruction. This spell is so fun. Actually, I think you used it before too. Any object that's in the room, a little rock, it can't weigh more than 5 pounds, I think. So a little box, a book, you can basically cast a spell at it, and it goes flying through the air and hit somebody or something, or if you want to get something away from somebody that they're trying to get. So you can do this, and it does quite a bit of damage. So yeah, so basically I created not a College of Swords bard per se, much better than a College of Swords bard in my opinion. But yeah, he's a performer who it's all about his weapons performing. He does sonic damage. He trips people. He moves people around the battlefield with his chain weapon. So yeah, there you go, College of Swords bard, Hexblade warlock, and paladin. And you could do a lot more with these. Obviously, as you level up, you're going to have more choices and more ways to go. And my gosh. So let us know what you think in the comments of this class. I mean, there's so much more to talk about and discuss. And obviously, as the subclasses come out, I can't imagine what those will be.
How could there be any more? How could there be any more? It's just...
But, you know, if you want to hear more of this kind of stuff, we're making more. Like and subscribe, and we'll make even more.
Because that's the thing.
That's
Doubly.
the thing.
And doubly.
And
It'd be kind of cool.
thanks for watching to the end. If you got this far, I know. I get it. Okay, bye.